Well, you know what? I'm just visiting. I heard about this on KPFA.
Yes.
And I'd like you to tell me who you are and what are you doing here?
Who am I?
Yes, sir.
I'm an earth person.
Yes, sir.
My name is Wounded Knee. We're protecting sacred sites of our ancestors. We're here to protest against this dead mall because it's the home of the Ohlone people. And this mall is built up on top of a sacred burial ground of the Ohlone people. And we're here to send a message across the world and across this nation that it's time to stop desecrating these sacred sites and burial grounds of our ancestors. Our ancestors do not belong in museums. They do not belong in gym lockers. They do not belong in cardboard boxes, including their artifacts and their sacred remains, sacred objects. They belong in Mother Earth. They already had their ceremony, the traditional ceremony by the spiritual leaders and holy men and spiritual advisors. They already had their ceremonies. And for people to come along and remove them, there's no such thing as a ceremony when we remove a remain of indigenous people. So we're here to deliver a message across this nation and across this world that all life is sacred and our sacred sites are very sacred to indigenous people. That's our culture and that's our belief. It's time to put a halt to desecrating these sacred sites. There's a sacred site in Vallejo, California. It is called the Glencoe Sacred Burial Ground. This could be a violation of human rights. This could be a violation of civil rights. This could be a violation of the Indian Freedom of Religion Act. And it also could be a hate crime or a violent crime by the city of Vallejo and GVRD. GVRD stands for Greater Vallejo Recreation District, and we've been battling the GVRD in the city of Vallejo for 12 years to protect this sacred site from not being desecrated. They wanted to build a park on top of the last 15 acres. They already removed remains from the Glencoe sacred site. There's remains at UC Berkeley, and we need them to return back and be reinterred back into Mother Earth. They don't belong in no museum. We're asking for our ancestors back. Many tribes came to Glencoe. It was a sacred village. Just imagine 3,500 years ago or 1500 BC, how many ancestors were buried down there? They came on their Thule canoes, many California tribes in their canoes, and they had ceremony there. They traded at this sacred village in their division quest and intergrouped and married each other and buried their ancestors in these sacred places. So it's time to put a halt to desecrating these sacred sites. They always use the word compromise. There is no such thing as a word for compromise on a sacred burial ground of our ancestors. We have been compromising for 518 years, and now they want to store nuclear waste on some of these reservations and rancherias of our ancestors. And we say no, because we have one of the highest rates of cancer on these reservations as Indian people. And what we're saying is that we need the community support. We need non-Native American support, Earth people. If you want to help us to protect the Glencoe Sacred Burial Ground, they can go to write a letter to the city of Vallejo. That's Mayor Osby Davis. His first name is spelled O-S-B-Y. Mr. Davis, 555 Santa Clara Street, Vallejo, California, 94591. Or they could write GVRD, Mr. Shane McCaffrey. It's spelled S-H-A-N-E, capital M-C-A-F-F-E-E. And that's Shane McCaffrey. Their address is 395 Amador Street, Vallejo, California, V-A-L-L-E-J-O. Or you could write the Vallejo Times-Herald, read his opinion, and support our struggle to protect sacred sites. It's time to put a halt to desecrating sacred sites and burial grounds of our ancestors. Enough is enough. It's time to stop this madness by the developers and the bureaucrats that continue to desecrate sacred burial grounds. We say thank you very much, and may the Great Spirit be with you. Ho, Imazoke, Mataki, I say.